Little update from Jackie Izzo, the mayor of Rome, standing by right now. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How are you?
I just want you to know that we pretty much have taken you on time today.
I know.
And isn't that...
It's a minor miracle.
It is. It really is. There should be... I mean, just write this down in your calendar if you could.
I think I might.
Because normally when we get the mayor on, there's usually something going on, and it's about 25 minutes after she's supposed to be on. So she's done a lot of waiting for us. So, all right. I know that Utica is touting these ride-sharing bikes. Is this the same service you guys have been using?
Yes, it's Zagster.
Yeah.
Same service, yep.
And what are your... people in Utica just being introduced to it. What are your thoughts so far?
Oh, well, we think that it's a successful program. You see the people taking the bikes quite often. I think, they probably average about the hour span. We have bikes located from north to south, so you can pick up a bike at Griffiths or at Fort Stanwix, which is in the center of the city, or then down at the south end of our city at Bellamy Harbor Park. It's a pretty successful program.
And you're seeing it. You've seen it in other cities. I know New York was the first time I'd seen these types of things, and it's quite interesting how the technology works too.
Right, you have to understand a phone app.
Yeah,
and you have to have a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Very very similar to the way a lot of, I guess, ride services are going now.
Yeah,
Uber, Lyft.
Yeah.
Those are all apps. So yes, if you can maneuver a phone app, you're good to go.
All right. So what is new? What are you looking at in the city of Rome? And then I want to talk about the upcoming Honor America Days.
Yeah, we're very busy right now. This weekend, the World Series of Bocce will commence tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And then we're going into the following weekend. We have the Canal celebration for the bicentennial of the Erie Canal. And then, of course, Honor America Days, into the Canal Fest. So we've got a good straight month here of being very busy with a lot of activities in Rome, and hopefully activities that the whole area will enjoy.
Yeah. Yep. And I'll ask you, too, Honor America Days is just... did that all begin with celebrating with the base, right? The Honor America Days goes back...
No, not actually.
Okay.
Honor America Days began as an outgrowth of the old Fort Stanwix Days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There used to be a celebration for Fort Stanwix Days, August 1st to the 3rd, usually, because the 3rd is the recognition of the siege of Fort Stanwix.
Got it.
So when we conceived Honor America Days, when Carl Eilenberg was mayor, he wanted to have a bigger celebration. So we put together something that would always revolve around that August 1st to 3rd so that we could catch the siege date, and we moved it to the last weekend of July, encompassing at least the first weekend in August.
Yeah.
And made a larger celebration. And then, yes, because we are a military town, we included the patriotic part of it. That's where we built up the patriotic Honor America Days theme.
Got it. Okay.
And so that it became bigger than Fort Stanwix.
And I have to say that when the base closed, and obviously that was traumatic, not just for Rome, but the entire region. And we saw a trickle effect after that with corporations moving out that really fed off the base. But I think people would be very surprised to know what has been going on at the base. All of those jobs really have now been replaced and then some, right?
Well, actually, it's quite interesting. In the last several months, we've had people through here that have been around the country to other bases. For instance, General Polakowski was here, and she is the AFRL Commander. She's Material Command Commander. And she made a point to tell everyone at a symposium that we had. She said, "You don't understand. You are a success story." She said, "Bases around the country, but closed bases, do not look like this. You've done a tremendous job." Our new director at the lab, he's been here about a year and a half, Dan Goddard, he tells me the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
He says, "Jackie, this is really a success story." He says, "There's a lot going on here. It's amazing what your community has done with this old base." He said, "Some of them that I travel to," he said, they're mothballed. So, yeah, we should be very proud. There's a lot going on at the Griffiths property, and that bodes well for the region.
I'm sorry, Jackie. who do you credit that most to for developing that and rebuilding that to what it is today?
Well, I think in the beginning, Steve DeMille and his staff laid out a vision of what there was a master plan.
Yeah.
And they pretty much stuck to it. They had different sectors. There was a technology sector. There was a light manufacturing. And if you probably look back at that master plan now, especially with Route 825 being completed, you'll see that mostly they stuck to their guns and tried to develop the property according to the master plan.
And by the way, and were really at times very much criticized for turning things down that they felt just didn't fit.
Yes. There was a lot of criticism. There were things that they did turn down, ideas that people had, and they just refused it. And now I think, that's paying off. The runway, it was probably a great example. There were many things proposed that were not aviation related for the runway. They resisted those. Now the drone business is taking off. We had a great announcement yesterday that Walmart is going to be using our test site for the next couple of years.
Wow.
That's a bigger announcement than people think.
Wow.
They are going to be testing their supposed drone delivery business here at Griffiths. This is going to be their main test site. So this is a big contract. It's a big opportunity.
How do you see this working? I've tried to envision, UPS driving down the road and they've got 10 drones on the top of the brown van, and all of a sudden they drive into a neighborhood and disperse. Is that fantasy? I mean, how would this be done?
Well, I actually think that's what they're not sure of right now.
Yeah.
And that's part of what's going to be done here at the test facility.
Wow.
We have a lot of different companies coming in. It's interesting. Last year when we had a couple of drone demonstrations, one in particular, a large competition took place here. And the idea was that the drone would be launched, fly into a disaster scene, collect information, and then be able to get back to a truck that was moving to land. Only one company was successful. Some of the drones, it's much harder to develop the software to control the drone than we think it is.
Yeah.
And that's basically where they are right now. They're trying to define that technology of being able to completely control the drone. So how will it work in package delivery? Not sure yet.
Yeah.
There was another demonstration. Lockheed Martin did demonstrations last year of putting out, targeting a drone to a fire scene and dropping water or whatever on the fire.
Yeah.
It was very, very difficult for them to do.
Yeah. And so we're really it's the infancy stage of all of this that is,
no question,
where we're benefiting.
Yes,
right
now.
We
certainly are. I mean, our test site is it's renowned already. We're ahead of some of the other test sites in the technology that we've developed here with our operations center. So there's a buzz about it across the country. So I think that there are good things that are happening as far as the UAS industry is concerned here in Rome.
I just have to say that I've been out and I've seen it, and it's impressive. And the fact it will be very interesting to see how we transition from testing to what. I mean, if you become a facility that is really well known for drones, it would be almost natural. What is the next step? Once the testing is done, the research is done, and we find out what we can do with it, I wonder what happens then.
Well, deployment and what comes with deployment. Do more manufacturing facilities of drones come with deployment?
Yeah.
Do you want to manufacture them near where you're going to still be doing testing? I think that's all an unknown. And how do you transfer this technology to commercial use? And then, of course, Rome Lab is still in this picture because they're probably testing counter measures. When all these drones are around, who knows what people will deploy them for. So I'm sure the military is looking at counterinsurgency almost of drones. And that brings in a lot of things. We have a test site at Stockbridge. I'm sure that will be used for some of this. We have a corridor that the governor established from Griffiths to Syracuse So I think there's a lot of things going on in that industry, and we need to be patient because you can see some of that is coming to fruition now as more companies try to get ahead of the ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot see that there's an end right now to unmanned, whether we're talking about aircraft or vehicles that drive on the road. This is just the beginning, and it seems like there's a healthy field in front of us right now, which is great for the region, great for Rome. Mayor Izzo, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, Honor America Days. Quick little preview of when and all of the details on that.
We are, for the first time, we're having our opening celebration will be Saturday, July 22nd, all day long celebration of the bicentennial of the Erie Canal at Bellamy Harbor Park. We will have, there's a reenactment at noon, and then we'll have an arts festival there, a food truck rodeo, entertainment all day long. We've got Classified will be playing in the afternoon, as well as a couple of more bands from Syracuse, fireworks at night. And then the traditional Honor America Days on Saturday, July 29th. The parade is at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're bringing the Cicero North Syracuse High School Band here. They're playing in the Macy's Parade in 2018. They just played in one of the bowl games and won all of the awards at the game.
Wow.
So we're pleased to bring them. And then, of course, the Symphoria concert at the lawn of Fort Stanwix, 8 o'clock on Saturday, July 29th. Always a Pops concert. They're bringing a chorus with them, so it'll be a really lively concert.
Yeah.
And it always ends with the overture, fireworks, stars and stripes. Be a great night.
All right, Honor America Days just around the corner in Rome. 7:25. Mayor, thanks so much for taking the time. We'll talk again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Right. Mayor Jackie Izzo in Rome. Just seeing that drone stuff out there is just unbelievable. When you see NASA logos. Because NASA is doing research over there. Pretty cool.